Tip of the week.
Hey guys, in this week's tip, we're going to start off a series over the next few weeks to review the pricing table and all the tools that are available to us within SMS Pro. If you remember back over the last few weeks, we looked at several different ways to analyze item level data. We looked at things like margin. We also looked at things like movement over periods of time. At the end of our last tip, we looked at a handy-dandy tool to help us quickly establish a price based on a margin analysis that we ran. We're going to build on last week's tip now by taking a little bit more in-depth look within the pricing table itself. So let's jump in. I'm in a pretty vanilla item cost view with my favorite analysis window open up to the right here, movement by date. You can also see that we're going to use that same serial item from last week. You remember, the one that had terribly low margin. Well, this past week I was hard at work, went back to the vendors, worked on my base cost, and got it down to something reasonable. Now we can actually go into the pricing table here and do some real live examples of what you may want to do. So let's start off with a quick review of the options and the data available to us within the pricing table. First, the header information here at the top. The first field here, Target, is used in multi-store environments and allows you to adjust pricing based on individual stores as needed. The second section here is price level. If you double click on it, in our case you can see we have two different price levels. Today we're just going to work on the regular price level. Next up is the date and timestamp for the current active price of $2.48. And then to the right of that, if we have future pricing that we're going to go over here in just a second, also the date and timestamp plus the source that we're getting that pricing from. Okay, let's go ahead and take a look at each of the pricing levels that we have within the table here. This first column here is regular pricing, and it is exactly what you think it is. It's the item's normal price. The second column labeled TPR here, that stands for temporary price reduction, and that pricing is used for more shorter term reductions in a standard price. The third column is sale, and that is a promotional price that can be defined within specific date ranges. And the last column here, that's store specific pricing. In multi-store environments that could be used, or if your store has a pricing that is above or below the standard regular price. This last column here over to the far right is SRP. That stands for standard retail price, and that's used for informational purposes only. You'll see that show up on a couple reports that we'll get to later on. So our cereal item has a regular price of $2.48. We can see that plainly right here. To the right, that little 1 in the box, that refers to the quantity that this price is good for. So for each box of cereal that we sell, the price is $2.48. Another thing to note while we're here, this number above and to the right, that's our margin percent for our regular price. If we were to take out our calculator watch, circa 1985, we could divide our unit cost, right here, by 0.67, and we would see that at a 33% margin, our price would be $2.48. We also have the option of setting start and end date ranges, plus start and end time ranges for each one of our pricing levels. To enter into any one of those tools, simply click in the box, and either a calendar or a clock tool will pop up. Now, let's get our hands dirty. Let's say next week, on this particular item, I want to run a sale price of $2.29. Easy enough to do. All I have to do is come over to my sale price column, click in it, type in $2.29. The system will automatically default to the level 1 quantity. I want to start next week on Monday, so I click in the Start Calendar box. My handy-dandy calendar pops up. I select Monday the 12th. For the end time, I double-click in that box. I select Sunday the 18th. And for the time, I'm going to leave that blank. What that means is when we open up on Monday morning, my sale price is going to be active, and then when we close on Sunday evening, my sale price is going to end. To accept those changes, all I have to do is hit the Apply All Changes button. Notice what happens as a result of our actions. Some of the field tables fill in for us. It's showing us that our next price of $2.29, our sale price, is going to be active next Monday the 12th, and it's going to start whenever we open. It also is telling us that the source of that price is coming from our sale column. We'll also notice that our margin percentage went down a little bit because of the sale price to 27%, but at least we know what it's going to be right here on the screen. Now, just for giggles, let's take a look at what could be a potentially another real-world problem. We've been proactive, we said our sale price is already up for next week on this item, and we're ready to go. But then all of a sudden, my grocery manager comes in and says we've got a bunch of these boxes on the shelf that are due to expire tomorrow morning. What are we going to do? We're either going to throw them out or we're going to try and sell them. Let's try to sell them first. So to do that, we're going to set a temporary price reduction. We're going to come over here to our TPR field, we're going to click on it, and we're going to say $1.79 per box. We're going to set the start date to today, the end date to today, and we're going to hit OK. From there, we're going to apply all changes, and notice what's going to happen. Notice the next price field updated. The reason being, we changed the parameters of the pricing structure. Within the TPR, we set a date range that overrides the date range within the sale price. So which price takes precedence, you ask? Excellent question, my dear Watson, and that's got an easy answer too. Both TPR and sale prices require valid date ranges in order for them to activate. If neither price has a valid date range, then the regular price overrides both of those. So let's review quickly the rest of the hierarchy. When you have a TPR price and a regular price, and the TPR price has a valid date range, the TPR always takes precedent over regular pricing. Same thing really with sale pricing. When you have a valid date range, the sale price takes precedence over the regular pricing. When you have both a sale and a TPR price within the same date range, the sale price is always a number one. Okay, one last thing to review with you. We're going to go over store pricing and its effects on the pricing table. To set this up, I went ahead and deleted our TPR that we had set up, and I adjusted the dates on our sale pricing so it is effective today. You can see that I applied the changes, and then our next price when we sell this item is going to be the sale price of $2.29. So in our scenario, we live in a part of the country where we can charge a premium for this cereal product, and that's exactly what we're going to do. To do that, we're going to set up a store pricing that overrides the regular pricing. So all we have to do, come under our store pricing column, click in the box, hit $2.59. You'll notice the system defaults to a quantity 1, and I want to go ahead and apply those changes. But notice what happens. Our margin goes up, which is a good thing, but you'll also see that the next time we sell this item, the next price is still at $2.29. There's a good reason for that. And the reason for that? We have a valid sale price set up with valid date parameters, and we also have not told the system that we want the store pricing to override the sale pricing. So when and why would you want to override your sale pricing with store pricing? Well, let's say you download your sale information directly from your wholesaler, or perhaps it is pushed down to you from corporate. But remember, we're in part of the country where we can command a premium for this particular item, so we want the store pricing to override any and all sale items so that we can gain that extra margin. To do that, it's a pretty simple task. All we have to do is come click this little radio button right here. SAL stands for sale. What this does, the store pricing is now going to override the sale pricing. I'm going to hit apply all changes, and you'll see what happens. Notice that our next pricing field updated, and you can see the source of that update is from the store pricing column. The reason being, well, we clicked this little radio button down here that told it that we want store pricing to override sale pricing even though we have a valid date range. So let's take a quick second to review our pricing hierarchy. If we only have a regular price set up and we have no other date ranges within our TPR or sale price, regular pricing takes precedent. If we have a TPR or a sale price set up with valid date ranges, either one of those could take precedence over regular pricing so long as the date range is met, and sale pricing always trumps TPR pricing if those two fields have the same date range. Store pricing can be the master of everybody so long as we check these two radio buttons here and allow it to override either sale or TPR pricing respectively. Now you'll notice the only thing we haven't talked about in this pricing view is this little tool in the lower right hand corner here where we set target gross margin for both standard retail price and retail price. That's a sneak peek for next week though. We'll go over it then. We'll also take a peek at package pricing and limited quantity pricing as well. So until then, have a great day.